You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
A nursing shortage nationwide, and here on the Suncoast, we'll tell you what's being done locally to combat the issue.
Plus, Manatee County commissioners say they need help cleaning up the red tide. We'll tell you how you can get involved in the cleanup.
And as we get through the first week of school, what financial experts say about the back-to-school sales and how even people without kids can take advantage. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. Middle of August, August 15th. Glad you're awake. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for joining us this morning. Let's head over to John Scalzi. Maybe a little bit of a return to a typical August weather?
Yeah, we're going to start building an easterly wind flow, which is more typical in summer than the west wind we have been having. So we'll notice a kind of change in the weather pattern in that we won't get as big a chance of seeing these morning coastal showers as we have had. Right now, things are pretty quiet along the coast. I do not anticipate much in the way of rainfall along the coast this morning with the east wind blowing. Hopefully it will also aid in taking some of those red tide toxins and pushing them back out to shore. We'll have the latest update on the red tide coming up in about a half an hour or less. And as far as the temperatures go, they're running a little cooler than yesterday thanks to clearer skies and that easterly wind right now in the mid 70s most everywhere, representing about a 2-degree decrease over 24 hours. We'll have the complete forecast coming up in a few. All
right, we'll talk to you then. It's 5:01 right now. So far, so good. One little slowdown there on State Road 70 eastbound as you approach the interstate. Otherwise, all clear in Manatee County. Checking farther south, now here's the scene in northern Sarasota County. A little blip there on Bee Ridge eastbound as you leave 41 and head toward Tuttle. And then our final map to the south will show us not much to report at 5:02 on your Wednesday morning. An update this morning now on that deadly bridge collapse in Italy. At least 35 people have died after a strong storm brought down a bridge in the city of Genoa. About 30 vehicles were on the affected section when it collapsed. While the storms are partly to blame, police say the bridge was under maintenance. A structural failure is being investigated, and the number of casualties is expected to rise.
Our other top story this morning, a critical nursing shortage continues across the state and the country, and it is an issue that's been going on for a while now.
Our Marla Spence tells us what's being done locally to attract more nurses. She's live out front of Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Marla?
Good morning, guys. Yeah, the nursing shortage is nothing new. It's actually an issue that's impacted so many healthcare facilities within the region as well as across the state. Now, we did speak to a spokesperson here at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. They tell me the hospital and Suncoast Nursing Coalition wants to make sure they make an impact on the workforce by strengthening it. This morning, the coalition plans to award 22 scholarships totaling and $74,000. Now, this is an effort to reel in more students into the industry locally and boost the number of nursing school instructors training students on the Suncoast. We're told what's contributing to the nationwide shortage are issues with retention and recruitment and the number of baby boomer nurses looking to retire soon. Now, that scholarship will be awarded around 11 o'clock this morning right here at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Happening today, closing arguments begin this morning in the Paul Manafort trial. His defense rested its case without calling any witnesses in the tax evasion and bank fraud trial of the former Trump campaign chairman. This is the first trial to emerge from special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation. Charges involve Manafort's work as an overseas lobbyist years before joining the Trump campaign.
And a developing story this morning, Twitter taking sides with Facebook and Instagram, suspending conspiracy theorist Alex Jones. A Twitter spokesperson said the content which prompted Twitter to suspend Jones was a video that he tweeted Tuesday that said it was now, quote, time to act on the enemy. Now, it's not the first time he's been removed from social media. Now, Apple has removed the full library of all of Jones' podcasts. Facebook has unpublished his pages. YouTube has terminated his account, and other technology companies took similar action.
An update this morning on the identities of the 55 remains that were returned to the U.S. by North Korea earlier this month. Pentagon officials say the remains are in, quote, moderate to poor condition, but add that the lab in Hawaii specializes in making identifications when there's very little with which to work.
Laboratories, both DNA and the forensic laboratory, have the technology and the capabilities by which to differentiate those remains over the course of the next several years.
The Korean War lasted from 1950 until 1953.
Manatee County commissioners say they need help cleaning up the red tide. The county doesn't have a marine fleet to remove fish in smaller canals and waterways, nor can county crews go onto private property to remove dead sea life and take it to a landfill. So yesterday, commissioners met to try and figure out just how to help private homeowners pick up the dead fish piling up in their backyards. So starting today, Manatee County is going to make roll-off dumpsters available at Bayfront Park on Anna Maria Island and at 3 other county-owned boat ramps. So any homeowners can remove the fish and be brought there for their disposal. Now, commissioners are also asking for help from local fishermen who are willing to step in and help private homeowners who need their canals cleared.
Charlotte County is now part of the red tide local state of emergency. Governor Scott included Charlotte yesterday. The declaration enables business owners who have lost money due to red tide to apply for low-interest disaster loans. They can qualify for up to $50,000 per business. Sarasota and Manatee County business owners can also qualify for the disaster loans as well.
Now, one big difference between this outbreak and the bad one back in 2005 is social media. Now, that means that more people around the world know about the crisis right now, which is making it hard for those who try to market this area to tourists around the world. Drayton Saunders, who was on the Visit Sarasota board at one time, says social media amplifies events like this.
When it goes viral, it goes exponential, and so managing that message just isn't a local challenge. It's now an online international challenge, and so I think you look at the community's effort to make sure that the information we give is not just accurate, but out there on all the channels that people are looking at.
Now, Visit Sarasota County says a recent survey found that 3 out of 4 hotels are still seeing cancellations due to all that red tide.
For all of our coverage on the red tide outbreak, head over to our website, mysuncoast.com/redtide.
Well, a major restaurant founder and local entrepreneur has passed away. Steve Seidensticker died Tuesday after battling cancer for months. He was the founder of the Tableside Restaurant Group, which included local favorites like Libby's Cafe, Muse at the Ringling, Oak and Stone, and others. A memorial fund has been set up in his honor with contributions benefiting Miss Susie's Newtown Kitchen. That was the latest project that he'd been working on. He was 65 years old.
In last night's primary election, Vermont Democrats nominated the first openly transgender candidate for governor. Christine Hallquist won the primary over 3 other Democratic candidates. She'll now challenge incumbent Republican Governor Phil Scott in November. According to the Victory Institute, she is one of more than a record 400 LGBTQ candidates running for office nationwide.
And thousands of Vermont adults cast their vote for a candidate for governor who couldn't even vote for himself in Tuesday's Democratic primary.
My age hasn't played as large a role in my life.
Ethan Sonborn, who will soon begin high school, had more than 4,000 votes, with 90% of the precincts there reporting on Tuesday night. Get this. 14 years old. That's all he is, 14. Vermont's constitution does not actually specify any age limit to run. The teen did make a concerted campaign effort, too. It was not, however, enough to seriously challenge his opponent. He's now set to begin high school and maybe run for a student election there instead.
The student council makes more sense right now. Well, you don't have to have kids to have some great back-to-school sales that can affect you. This is one of the best times of the year to freshen up your shoe collection as stores move out the summer lines to make room for colder weather shoes and boots. So sandals and summery styles are on clearance right now. And keep in mind, end of summer is also when patio and outdoor furniture goes on sale as well.
A fridge full of free Bud Light, but only if the Cleveland Browns can win this season. Now, as a longtime Detroit Lions fan, I can totally relate to the Browns fans. The team went winless last season, and the season before that, the Browns only scored 1 lone victory. So an incentive this season from Bud Light, who are planting these victory fridges, they're like smart fridges, all around the city. Now, when the Browns finally get their first regular season win this year, these fridges will pop open and free beer for everyone.
Probably a safe bet by Budweiser.
I think that's pretty good. Free beer, that's a good incentive. You know, fans put a little pressure on the team as well. They want the free beer.
I think they have been. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Hawaii having trouble getting tourists to come back to the Big Island after the volcanic eruptions. The initiative they've launched to bring visitors back.
And later in the hour, the Space Center in Houston is giving a liftoff of sorts to families that would normally never be able to visit the museum. We'll tell you why this is such a big deal. But first,
It is 5:10 right now on this Wednesday morning. There's a shot outside our studios. What's on the menu today, sir?
Well, we're going to kind of switch around the weather pattern just a little bit and kind of return it to that east wind flow. That means during the morning hours, we have lesser chances of rainfall with a maximum chance in the afternoon with the sea breeze building. So on the drive time forecast, I have not checked any of the inclement weather boxes, including rain. So I think for the morning commute looks pretty good. Upper 70s on the way to work, on the way home from work, maybe an isolated thunderstorm in inland areas, but for the most part, dry conditions. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View, live at 9 on ABC 7.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and Joey Panic on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the morning, watch Suncoast View, live at 9. Weekdays on ABC 7.
We've been fighting the war on drugs for a long time. We answer the phone 24/7, 365 days a year. On a busy night, we answer hundreds of calls. This war on drugs needs our intervention.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has helped people struggling with drugs and alcohol.
When the phone rings, we help people when they need it the most. When we get a caller into treatment, it feels right. It feels good. It's a blessing.
If you're struggling, drinking, using, and need to get clean, don't suffer alone in silence. Call Addiction Hope and Helpline.
Our people understand, and many are also in recovery. Call for support and strength. You can call for someone who can't or isn't willing. It's an act of love. Together we can help you beat this thing and erase addiction from your vocabulary once and for all.
Call 800-871-1644. 800-871-1644.
Planning a Carnival Fantasy Cruise out of Mobile? Then check out the park and cruise packages at the luxurious Battle House and Renaissance Riverview Plaza hotels. Stay at the Battle House for $169 per night or the Riverview Plaza for just $149 per night and leave your car for the duration of your cruise. Includes transportation to and from the cruise terminal. If you're cruising out of Mobile, come stay with us. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT or visit Marriott.com now.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7. Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC 7 digital media services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC 7 digital media services to give you the right tools to grow your business. Now, your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we are looking at temperatures that are generally a degree or two cooler than they were 24 hours ago. We have a 74-degree air temperature. The dew point value is at 72, slightly lower than it was 24 hours ago as well. Calm winds out, though, that have generally been out of the east during the last few hours. And fairly clear skies. So the combination of all those factors has brought us that kind of Slightly cooler and crisper feel to the air this morning. At least there are no showers around. We have about a 10% chance, that's it, of seeing an immediately coastal shower. I don't think we'll see anything inland. And then as we progress through the afternoon, I think our rain chances go up as that easterly wind collides with the sea breeze that'll form under the influence of plenty of heating. And that takes us up to about a 30% chance of showers just inland. I don't think the sea breeze is going to move too far inland, so even coastal residents have a chance this afternoon at seeing a few of those storms build. Right now, everything's very quiet in our section of the world. There were some showers ongoing to the north of us, and now out in Gulf waters and Atlantic waters, there are a few scattered showers. Nothing really intense, no like major complex of storms. Very quiet on all your roadways this morning. Really don't anticipate seeing any rainfall, at least not this morning. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, now out in the Atlantic, bringing us this easterly wind flow. Trough of low pressure beginning to lift out and dissipate away. As we progress through the afternoon, we'll watch our sea breeze form. That sea breeze moving inland collides with this general easterly wind flow, keeping the sea breeze closer to our coast than the other coast. That's where the showers will start to build. We still have enough moisture in the atmosphere to support a few showers around, so that will happen. But some drier air has moved in, and that's helped to reduce our rain chances a bit. Wind shift pattern brings this new weather pattern. We'll watch the dry air move in this week, slightly reducing our rain chances to below average, and warmer temperatures consequently. By the way, a new subtropical depression has formed. Not much to speak of. It's a subtropical depression, meaning it's kind of a combination of tropical and non-tropical characteristics. It has about 24 hours, maybe 48 hours of life left in it before it hits colder waters and starts to fall apart. If it did become a named storm, it would be Ernesto, but it poses no threat to the United States at all. This will be a fish storm moving out into the open waters of the Atlantic. It'll basically just eventually fall apart. However, it's of note on this rather light so far hurricane season. It's the 4th out of 5 tropical systems that have started off and become, at least at some point in their lifetimes, subtropical systems. So that's kind of an interesting note from the Hurricane Center. There's our drier air indicated here by blue advancing into our area, reducing our rainfall chances in the long term. We'll watch that dry air kind of anchor over the state for the next several days. Southeast wind at about 10, becoming more easterly. We'll look for a daytime high today that tops out at about 91 degrees. Have about a 30% chance of those inland showers, and they'll slowly drift back to the coast in the evening as they kind of fall apart. Same thing around tomorrow, I'd say daytime high about the same, around 91. Then as we head into Friday and Saturday, I think we'll reduce our rain chances just a little bit as that drier air moves in. That'll probably hold true on Sunday as well. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice weekend if you have some outdoor plans. And then as we head into the beginning of next week, we'll look for about a 30 to 40% chance as we start to increase the moisture a little bit and drive our temperatures up to about 90. Guess that's about it. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, John. Let's take a look outside, checking out that first alert traffic out there for you this morning. Starting off in Manatee County, we have roads are looking pretty smooth so far. No real bumps or delays in that area. Heading into Sarasota County, those roads are also not looking too bad just yet at this hour. Pretty clear right there. And then if you're heading a little bit farther south, if your commute is going to take you toward Port Charlotte or Naples, 75 and 41 are both running pretty smooth at this point. It is 5:18, and that is your first alert traffic. Well, the push is on to encourage visitors to come back to the Big Island of Hawaii after this year's volcano eruption. Now, resorts there have lost millions after the Kilauea volcano erupted. Stories about lava flows and lava bombs have made the news. So they decided to start a campaign to remind tourists that the Big Island is bigger than you realize, and not all the areas have been impacted.
For instance, if we have an East Coast visitor, and if I say, well, it's about the same distance between New York and Philadelphia, then that puts that maybe into a context that they all understand, and that's what we try to communicate to them.
Now, many of the resorts there are also using social media, especially Instagram, to send daily message of clear skies and beautiful ocean shots to reassure any potential visitors.
And the relative calm continues at Kilauea today. It's now been 12 days since the most recent event at the summit. At fissure number 8, there's a small lava pond and a gas plume, but the only red lava on the flow field is oozing into the ocean. Experts warned that eruption activity could resume at any time, and the idea of luring tourists back to the area reminds me a little bit about the Suncoast here and the red tide.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the way that you use social media to get the word out that, hey, this is coming back, it's better, it's safe to return.
Real problem.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Parents, you might relate to this one. We're going to tell you what one little girl ordered on Amazon that got her in a little bit of trouble. Hint, it was kind of like an early Christmas. So we've got that story in today's Tech Bites.
Researchers taking a close look at animals who naturally resist cancer. We'll tell you what they hope to uncover. It's 5:20 right now, and you're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
All across America, there are kids going hungry. It sounds crazy, but it's real. It's also a problem we're fixing. Kids who rely on school meals need help in the summer. That means neighborhood meal sites that are easy to get to and free for every kid. When you make breakfast part of a school day, a lot more kids get the chance to eat. These programs work. Over the past few years, 1/3 fewer children in the United States are facing hunger. Let's make No Kid Hungry a reality.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Introducing the ABC 7 First Alert Weather Tracker. This all-new mobile weather lab is just one more way. The team you trust is keeping you ahead of the storms. The ABC 7 First Alert Weather Tracker, sponsored by Mr. Sparky, America's on-time electrician.
Investigate TV tackles the tough topics.
What happened to my life was awful.
When your health is compromised, we investigate.
They are really drug dealers in white coats.
Corporate greed exposed.
How do you trust them to run this program?
The powerful held accountable with in-depth journalism led by award-winning journalist Lee Zurich. We're your watchdog. Search Investigate TV on your Roku device. Download it now.
Welcome back at 5:23. There's a shot outside our studios at the corner of Lemon and 10th Street. Should be a pretty nice day. The usual chance of showers in the afternoon. John's forecast is on the way.
All right, it is 5:23, and here's your Wednesday morning science lesson. Did you know that elephants rarely get cancer? Well, it's a true story. Despite having trillions more cells than humans, less than 5% of elephants die of cancer. Now, for humans, that number is actually about 25%. So researchers are now taking a closer look at animals like elephants who naturally resist cancer. They're hoping those results will help them treat and fight cancer in humans someday.
Interesting study,
Good
yeah.
plan, right? Well, Sprint plans to release what they call a groundbreaking new smartphone next year, and why you should never let your kids get a hold of your Amazon account.
The stories in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Sprint prepares for the next generation of smartphones.
The company is partnering with LG to bring the first phone with built-in 5G capability to the U.S. in the first half of next year. Sprint isn't offering any other details. The announcement comes as Verizon is launching its first 5G-capable phone.
Instagram users are reporting that their accounts are being hacked. They're finding themselves logged out. Then, when they log back in, they're discovering changes to their profiles.
Whoever is behind the hacks doesn't seem to be making changes to photos. Just something to look out for. And a young girl in Utah was allowed to order a Barbie doll for her birthday using her mom's Amazon account, but little Caitlin did not stop there.
And she went back and ordered more items totaling $350. That included next day delivery. Mom sent it all back except for one Barbie. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, sponsored by Xeljanz.
Your mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist move to another treatment, ask if Xeljanz XR is right for you. Xeljanz XR is a once-daily pill for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well enough. It can reduce pain, swelling, and further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Xeljanz XR can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, lymphoma, and other cancers have happened. Don't start Xeljanz XR if you have an infection, tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz XR and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Don't let another morning go by without talking to your rheumatologist about Xeljanz XR.
Don't hide it. We know that sometimes emotions just get the better of you, especially at the Honda Summer Spectacular event. And we know getting a deal on the Honda Civic, a 2018 KBB.com Best Buy, can be quite liberating, especially when this stylish Honda Civic comes with Sport Mode.
Yes! Yes!
Express what you're feeling at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
I'm happy you're happy.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Civic today.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
your child's classmate,
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC7. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Why the NAACP is now investigating the Manatee County School Board. We'll tell you what they're looking for.
Plus, the city of Sarasota has shut down a public pool because of red tide.
And the Space Center in Houston is giving a special liftoff to families that would normally never be able to visit the museum. Those stories and your Wednesday forecast right now on Good Morning Suncoast. It is 5:29. Welcome to Wednesday. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. Middle of August, August the 15th. John Scalzi has details now of the midweek forecast.
Yeah, it's kind of returning to a more typical August kind of weather pattern for us here on the Suncoast. We've had this persistent westerly wind that has favored those morning showers along our coast. Well, that's switched up just a little bit to an easterly wind. So we'll watch that easterly wind continue to reinforce itself over the next several days. And that wind tends to favor a more typical pattern, quite quiet in the morning, followed by afternoon showers and thunderstorms. We have moisture in the air, yes, that's true, but we also have a little bit of drier air trying to work in, which will reduce the number of those afternoon storms. So our rain chances actually a little bit lower than normal. Quiet on radar right now, morning commute should be a-okay. And with that slightly drier air in place, with that clearer sky that we have, we're looking at temperatures that are slightly cooler than they have been over the last 24 hours. So 74 degrees Wauchula, Mayaca, same 75 in Northport, 76 in Venice. Sarasota, you're waking up to 74, 74 in Bradenton, and right along the immediate coastline, we've got temperatures that are in the upper 70s. Temperatures generally running about 2 degrees below average, or about 2 degrees below where we were 24 hours ago. Complete forecast for you coming up in a few. Back to you guys.
Thank you, John. Little blip there on the screen. State Road 70 westbound as you reach 301. Also a little problem there on 14th Street West as you're heading northbound toward downtown Bradenton. Otherwise pretty clear in Manatee County. Farther south, no red to report in the northern half of Sarasota County. Checking our final map to the south, we'll find out there's nothing to report so far at 5:31. Accusations of discrimination against several Manatee County school employees. Last night, the president of the local branch of the NAACP criticized the school board for its hiring and firing practices. He is pushing the school board for an internal investigation regarding alleged discrimination, specifically involving administrators within the Human Resources Department. Allegations also include employees losing their jobs after filing complaints. The NAACP says discrimination has been going on for years there, but only now are people willing to come forward.
In hiring practices, promotional opportunities, you name it, even discipline. It appears that our white counterparts receive different discipline than black, especially administrators and teachers, different levels of discipline.
We investigate everything. That's what we have multiple attorneys for. That's what the board is for. We'll make sure that it gets investigated thoroughly, and if it warrants action, we will definitely do it.
The local group plans to bring these complaints to the State Department of Education.
A devastating report revealed decades of covering up the sexual abuse of at least 1,000 children by more than 300 priests in Pennsylvania. The 900-page grand jury report revealed that the culture of tolerating this abuse went all the way up to the top church leaders. Now, many of the priests were simply moved to other parishes when abuse allegations came to light. Other victims said that private investigators were hired to find dirt on them to be intimidated against testifying.
Were brushed aside in every part of the state by church leaders who preferred to protect the abusers and their institutions above all. Priests were raping little boys and girls, and the men of God who were responsible for them not only did nothing, they hid it all for decades.
Now, while the report found at least 1,000 victims so far, they estimate that number could actually go much higher. Now, in most of the cases, the statute of limitations have expired, but they have found some that still may be able to be prosecuted. And looking ahead, you want to get rid of old prescriptions in your medicine cabinet? If so, Sarasota Police can help. From 5 to 7, you can drop off old pills in the police lobby near Payne Park. They're targeting opioid prescriptions, which are the focus of an increasing number of addictions.
The smell from red tide has caused the city of Sarasota to shut down Lido Key Pool today and tomorrow. They plan to reevaluate conditions after that. The Lido Pavilion and concessions will also be closed. Work crews, by the way, have already removed 22 tons of dead fish from Lido Beach, and for the record, 27 tons from Siesta Beach.
And for all of our latest coverage on the red tide outbreak, just head online to mysuncoast.com. You can get the answers to the most frequently asked questions about causes and cleanup. And early voting is underway in parts of the state for the upcoming primary. New numbers from the State Division of Elections show that there are more than 600,000 more people registered to vote this year than during the 2016 election. Now, 18 counties began casting their ballots, but not Sarasota and Manatee counties. Early voting for us starts on Saturday and then runs until the 25th. And speaking of politics, Tampa Bay, you ready to feel the burn? Senator Bernie Sanders is headed to the state to campaign for Andrew Gillum on Friday. Now, he's the mayor of Tallahassee and is running for the Democratic nomination for the governor of the state. Sanders is going to go to Gillum's rally at 11 that morning at Armature Works in Tampa. Then they're going to head to Orlando for another rally. Now, tickets aren't required for either of those rallies, but you do have to RSVP online.
A recent coyote sighting has caused Longboat Key officials to schedule a workshop for concerned residents. Somebody saw a coyote in the Country Club Shores area, and some residents are concerned about their pet safety. Experts from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission will be at the workshop as well. It'll be at the Town Hall Chamber later on this month, August 30th, from 1 until 3 p.m.
And the Space Center in Houston is giving a lift-off to families that would normally never be able to visit there. Now, it's interesting because this facility recently became the first of its kind to be named a certified autism center. Nick Notario reports.
We are officially on the NASA facility.
This is a tour hundreds of thousands take each year. After riding a tram, people get to see firsthand how NASA trains its astronauts. Afterwards, the tour shows people the rocket that took man to the moon.
See how long the rocket is?
It might be educational for adults, but it's jaw-dropping for kids who can't hide their excitement.
It's a Star Wars Clone Wars helmet.
For many of these kids, visiting Space Center Houston is something they normally wouldn't do. The kids in this tour have autism, a condition that makes it difficult for families to visit places like this.
When you have a child who you don't know how is going to react to certain sights, smells, sounds, and things like that, you have to try to preview it.
But that's changed. Space Center Houston is the first space center in the world to earn Certified Autism Center designation, a title given because of the training its employees receive, sensory bags it gives to kids, and quiet room they can visit if needed. A game changer for parents, including Hope Collins Montgomery.
Okay, guys, ready?
Her triplets have autism.
They enjoyed it. And I didn't see, believe it or not, any major sensory going on, so I think that was a good thing.
The one on the right with the red top is the Mercury Redstone.
She's not the only one who's thankful. Around 70 people took part in this tour to help parents with kids that have autism, including Tracy Calmus. She's always wanted to visit the museum because she says her youngest wants to be an astronaut.
Seeing his face light up as we're pulling in, and he's like, oh, I can go in the rocket.
An out-of-this-world experience that could change how these families experience life.
They're leading the way. I'm hoping that other facilities will do the same.
Now, can everybody see approximately where I'm standing?
Now, the Space Center in Houston also has a sensory night event where sounds and lights are turned down so the kids have less stimulus and it's more interesting for them.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will honor former coach Tony Dungy next month. They'll induct him in the team's Ring of Honor during the Bucs' Monday night game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Bucs went to the playoffs in 4 of his 6 seasons in Tampa, a city that's now become his home.
My family, our kids have grown up here. We've gotten connected with the community. People ask me now what's my hometown, and even though I was born in Jackson, Michigan, my hometown is Tampa, and that's what you hope for. It's been very, very special, and the night of the 24th is going to put a cap on things.
Dungy is now a studio commentator and NBC motivational speaker. By the way, the Bucs are in Nashville on Saturday night.
That is right. Still ahead, is there something in the water we need to know about? Because in one hospital in Oregon, there's a whole lot of nurses all pregnant right there at the same time. We'll have that story for you. But first.
So many jokes, so little time. 5:38 right now. There's a shot outside at the downtown skyline. Oh, the construction going on down there, just amazing. The official state bird is the crane. Little joke there.
Oh, right. So it's only 5:38.
You get that joke, John?
I did.
You like it?
I did. I did like it, actually, Ray.
You didn't.
Well done. Shh. I did. No, I did. So we have a lot of blue sky as dawn breaks on the Suncoast, and I think your Suncoast forecast for the bus stop looks pretty good. Mostly dry skies, isolated thunderstorms on the way home. Red tide situation, maybe still not so good, but there is encouraging news. A few of the locations which had been reporting intense irritant in the air has now, according to Mote Marine spotters, been reduced to just low amounts of irritant, so that's good. None of the locations are reporting clear, though, at this point. We'll have the complete forecast coming up in a second.
It's hard to see when you're outside at night. It's time for the Atomic Beam Sunblast, the new solar-powered light that's super bright. Atomic Beam Sunblast lets you add a light anywhere, and the atomic solar panels charge the built-in lithium-ion battery quickly. Then the 180-degree motion sensor turns on the light when you get near and automatically turns off when you disappear. Look, here's a best-selling outdoor solar light, and here's the super bright Atomic Beam Sunblast. Get the super bright Atomic Beam Sunblast for only $19.99. But wait, call right now and you can double your order and get a second Sunblast, plus our best-selling Atomic Beam Flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 Atomic Beam Sunblasts and the Atomic Beam Flashlight. Call now.
Call 1-800-431-6640. That's 1-800-431-6640. Or visit mysunblast.com. So call 1-800-431-6640. Order now.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here, because
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
So I kind of grew up all across the country. I come from 5 generations of military men. My dad is still active duty. My grandpa is retired Marines. I like going for runs with my dog. I love, taking her out to the dog beach over in Venice. There are so many things here to do on the Suncoast. My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we continue to watch a couple of things in our weather highlights. First of all, there'll be a wind shift that comes to us, bringing us a new weather pattern. In addition to that, we'll have some drier air moving in later in the week that promises big changes in our weather, including some drier weather and some warmer temperatures as well. Then we have one new addition in the forecast. That is a new subtropical system, but it will actually not be a big deal for the state of Florida. But it is interesting in this kind of light hurricane season. 74 degrees, the current air temperature. We have a dew point value coming in at 72. Calm winds out there right now. They've generally been out of the east, though, which is interesting because that signals the beginning of that pattern shift that I was talking about. 80-degree air temperature by about 9 a.m. with a 10%, that's it, chance of rain. As we head into the afternoon, our rain chances will go up to about 30% today. That's below average for this time of year. And the pattern of these storms is going to change in that they'll start in inland areas and then they'll slowly drift back to the coast as they dissipate. But you won't have to go too far inland to see the storms, as that easterly wind will tend to keep our sea breeze pretty close to the coastline. Quiet right now across the area. We do have All of our roadways looking just fine in terms of your morning commute. Really don't see any problems right straight through the next couple of hours during drive time with rain showers around, so that's good. High pressure in the Atlantic is sort of going to take over today from the westerly wind flow produced by the Gulf high pressure ridge that we've seen over the last several days. That's going to provide us with a general southeasterly wind flow. That's going to, again, keep our sea breeze pretty close to the coastline today as it forms locally along our west coast. And as this easterly flow clashes with that sea breeze on our coastline, we start to see the showers form. Favoring our coast as opposed to the other coast, I think we'll see at times a thunderstorm or two build. So wind shift pattern brings new weather. Wind shift brings a new weather pattern for us. Dry air stays in place for probably into the weekend, and warmer temperatures because we will cut down on the number of storms that we are going to see, and so our daytime highs go up a little bit. Watch our futurecast. We'll put it into motion. I think this is a pretty good depiction, this computer model, of what we will see this afternoon. That is pretty quiet through the morning hours. Sea breeze begins to build. As it does so, we get this line of storms that builds in inland areas later in the afternoon. And then those storms will tend to weaken as they generally move to the Gulf waters or to the north of us. So we'll watch for about a 30% coverage a little bit later on today, and then during the overnight, quiet conditions, I think. Watch this depiction. This is also instructional in terms of what to expect over the next couple of days. Very humid air in place aloft right now. Redder is wetter on this moisture available to produce rainfall graphic. And as we head into the next several days, the drier, cooler contours begin to move into the area. That significantly reduces rain chances as we head into the weekend from what we would typically expect in August. South-southeast wind continues for this afternoon, turning a little more easterly during the overnight. 30% chance of showers today, tomorrow, reducing rain chances on Friday as some of that drier air filters in, keeping those rain chances low for the weekend. Temperatures, of course, climb up a little bit from the low 90s, upper 80s that we have had. And then we'll look at moisture slowly returning as we head into Monday, Tuesday of next week. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check your first alert traffic. Starting off in Manatee, those roads are still looking pretty decent around this time in the morning. Not too bad. 301, a little bit delay as you pass State Road 70, but it's pretty normal for around this time in the morning. In Sarasota County, we do have one issue to tell you about right there near Gulf Gate Estates, if we can pull that up. Beneva Road southbound, there's a lane blocked right there at Greenview Circle. Again, Beneva Road southbound, there's a lane blocked at Greenview Circle. And then if your commute is going to take you a little bit farther south in the area, both 75 and 41 are looking pretty good at this hour. It is 5:47, and that's your first alert traffic. Our top story this morning, a critical nursing shortage continues across the state and the country, and it is an issue that's been going on for a while now.
Marla Spence shows us what's being done locally to fill those open jobs. She's live outside Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Marla?
Hey guys, this morning a local nursing organization plans to hand out scholarships to help with the latest effort to recruit more nurses to our area. That organization, the Suncoast Nursing Action Coalition, will be at Sarasota Memorial Hospital this morning to award 22 scholarship recipients with $74,000. Now it's all in hopes to help boost the local nursing workforce and nursing school faculty on the Suncoast. This morning those 22 recipients will be getting the chance to meet donors who made funding for those scholarships possible. Now we're told Sarasota Memorial Hospital is pretty much okay when it comes to the amount of nurses. SMH has seen 20% increase in the past couple years, but a spokesperson for the hospital tells us what could cause a decline for the hospital and what's currently causing a shortage nationwide are the amount of retiring baby boomers in the industry. That spokesperson tells us the scholarships awarded today is in hopes of preparing new nurses to be able to take the place of those retiring nurses once they decide to leave the workforce. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you so much, Marla. Well, speaking of nurses, there's a baby boom at a hospital in Oregon, but get this, it's not the patients, it's actually the nurses. 9 nurses on the same unit, pregnant all at the same time. Now, the nurses say it wasn't planned, but the timing is kind of weird. Now, the good news, the first baby is already here.
Yeah, one born. There's 5 of us due, I think 4 in September, 1 like October 1st.
Now the others are all due by January. The women swear their husbands don't know each other and didn't coordinate things. There's even a nursing assistant who is pregnant, so if you include her, that makes 10 all on one floor, all pregnant at the same time.
In other news now, with school shootings and security on the mind, there's a new backpack getting attention. It includes bulletproof inserts. Reporter Paul Nelson takes a closer look.
They can just slip right in the backside.
These thin, lightweight panels don't look like much, but they could save a life. They're ballistic inserts used to bulletproof backpacks.
They're lightweight. They slip right inside the backpack. The kids don't even know they're there.
Angel Armor makes the panels with the same material officers use in their vests. These ones are built to stop almost any round fired from a handgun.
We paid about $120 for this insert, and as you can see, it's pretty beat up. That's because we took it out and tested it using a couple different handguns and even some rifles, and it basically held up as advertised.
We started with a Glock 19. Once with books in the bag and once without.
Did not penetrate, no.
Next came the same scenario with a .357 revolver with the same results.
Okay, so here's our hole, indent, and our deformation.
The ballistic panel's not built to withstand high-powered rifles, but we found out that an AR-15 with handgun ammunition won't shoot through the backpack.
But obviously it did not penetrate through. We have nothing through here.
It was a different story with an AR-15 with a higher velocity round. The bullet passed through the books and stopped in the panel, but without the books, the bullet went through the backpack and the dummy.
So we have penetration. Here we have exit.
That result wasn't surprising since the panel's not built to handle that kind of velocity.
The ballistic panel itself is a tool. It's just an extra level of protection that we could provide for our children, along with education and how to properly respond should one of these incidents occur.
In every test, the textbooks and binders helped slow down the bullet before it reached the panel. And each type of gun had a different degree of damage, and that could still cause bruising or trauma to a person.
If it's on the back and we look at, what organs we have on the back, those could be injured. What we have prevented, though, is the penetration, which could lead to loss of life.
Sparks Black Rifle does not sell panels that can withstand high-powered rifles, but some companies do make them for a higher cost.
Who would have thought years ago we'd have inserts for backpacks?
I know, it's amazing. And it's an interesting concept, too, of parents buying them and just putting them into the backpacks. Because, you don't want to worry your kids or anything like that. So, interesting.
Weird sign of the times. Yeah. We'll come back and update the day's top news headlines. After this, you're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore 2 hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC 7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Today at 9 on Suncoast View.
We know laughter is the best medicine, but what about at work? I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. We'll learn a new meaning of the power lunch and how relaxing and smiling with your coworkers can foster a more productive workplace. Bookstore One is in back-to-school mode. They'll bring us new children's books. Plus, New York City jazz band, the Swingaroos. And Chef Judy has the best pancakes on the Suncoast in the kitchen.
Today at 9 on Suncoast View.
Find out first at 4 on the Suncoast with ABC 7 News at 4. ABC 7 News at 4 starts with a detailed look at your first alert weather forecast to help you plan and prepare. We give you a fresh, fast-paced rundown of the day's top stories and videos, including breaking news, live updates, and traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7. Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC 7 digital media services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC 7 digital media services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Here are the headlines. Melissa Howard has dropped out of the race for state office. She has apologized for lying about her diploma. This clears the way for her opponent to go on to the general election in November.
Plus, you want to get rid of those old prescriptions in your medicine cabinet? If so, Sarasota Police can help. This Thursday night from 5 to 7, you can drop off old pills in the police lobby near Payne Park.
And the overwhelming smell of red tide has caused the city of Sarasota to shut down the pool and concession area at Lido Beach. They'll reevaluate after tomorrow.
And over to John Scalzi for one final look at your Wednesday forecast.
So if you're heading out the door, I suggest you take sunglasses and your First Alert weather app because there will be a few storms around a little later on today as the sea breeze begins to form. Mostly sunny, warmer today. We'll look for afternoon storms to build, and don't forget our forecast's always available on the First Alert weather app and social media. Back to you guys.
All right, one more full hour of news, including the latest on Melissa Howard out there in Lakewood Ranch, what she's decided to do after apologizing and admitting that she did fabricate that diploma.
That's right. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast. The news continues right here on ABC 7.